Before we get into too much of what the cell membrane does, we do need to talk about the two different kinds of cells. Prokaryotes are bacteria only. The only living prokaryotes are bacteria. They lack a membrane around their nucleus, and they don't have any membrane bound organelles. Now, by that, I mean they don't have any membranes. They don't have any organelles. They don't have a mitochondria. They don't have endoplasmic reticulum. They don't have Golgi bodies. They don't have any of that. So their main feature is that they lack a nucleus and they lack all of those organelles. Now, they do have DNA. So bacteria are definitely capable of dividing and making new bacteria. You may have seen that on TV, how quickly they divide. But their DNA is just one long circular strand, and it's in the center region of the cell, which is called the nucleoid region. It's not a nucleus, it's the nucleoid region. Now, they actually have two domains. So, domains are over kingdoms. They have bacteria and they have archaea. And we'll talk a lot about this later when we get to bacteria. But the domain of bacteria, all of the modern day bacteria belongs in this domain. The stuff that makes us sick, what you have on your skin, what we have on our desks, what we have in our hair, what we have in our mouth, all of that bacteria falls under the domain of bacteria. Now, archaea is the domain for bacteria that's archaic. Just think ancient. Archives. This type of bacteria was around before there was oxygen in our atmosphere. And so they are actually the type of bacteria that would die in the presence of oxygen. So this type of bacteria is going to live in extreme conditions, like at the bottom of the ocean, in your gut, in your gas tank, places where oxygen is not present and oxygen would actually kill them. Now, eukaryotic cells, these are cells that have a nucleus and they have all of those membrane-bound organelles. And you can see from the picture on the right, there's mitochondria, there's a nucleus, there's lysosomes, there's Golgi apparatus, there's ribosomes, and there's all kinds of organelles. All the organelles have a specific job. You probably heard the mighty mitochondria is for storing ATP, which is our energy. And these organelles all have their own job. It's sort of like a little factory. They call the ER the highway of the cell. The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. So these are small compartments. They're all bound by a membrane, and they all have a specific job. Organelles are going to carry out all of the processes that our cell needs to carry out. So if we need energy, it will be released from the mitochondria, and so forth and so on. Peroxisomes, for example, they break down poisons and toxins. When we take over-the-counter medications that are toxic to us, our peroxisomes in our liver come into play and help us with that. So each one of these organelles has its own specific job. Now here's just a picture contrasting the two. On the left we have a prokaryote, which is bacteria, and on the right we have a eukaryote, which is going to be everything but bacteria. Now, the one thing they do have in common is they do have a plasma membrane. So bacteria do have a plasma membrane, and they also have a cell wall that we don't have, but they do have that membrane. They have cytoplasm. They have DNA. Their DNA is in the nucleoid region. Our DNA is in the nucleus. And they also have ribosomes. We'll find out a little bit later that ribosomes are where proteins are made. Bacteria do need to make proteins, but their ribosomes are found in the cytoplasm. Our ribosomes are found in the cytoplasm and on the endoplasmic reticulum. All right.